Fox 17 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
First at 5, breaking news. The Michigan Attorney General's office reviewing those actions by the Ottawa County Commission following their hiring of John Gibbs, dismantling the diversity department, and so much more.
We told you about this yesterday. The commission overhauled county government there, and many of the moves were absent from the commission's agenda. The firing and hiring seemingly only known by 6 Republicans that were sworn in just minutes beforehand, members of Ottawa Impact, a right-wing group. The AG's office tells Fox 17 that it is conducting an extensive review of the action and plans to make their findings to the public once they are complete. Adding, Dana Nessel is committed to defending the Open Meetings Act and ensuring that residents can participate in their government. We have the full statement right now at fox17online.com.
We also have team coverage of the Ottawa County Overhaul discussing the legality of these decisions, exactly what commission can do and can't do moving forward. Right now, Fox 17's Doug Reardon and Lauren Edwards join us live from Ottawa County with the latest. Doug, we're going to start with you because you spoke with a commissioner who felt blindsided by the vote and voted against this appointment for Gibbs.
Yeah, good evening, guys. Rebecca Curran was the only Republican member to vote, the only member of Ottawa Impact to vote no on this change. She says not only did she not know it was going to happen that day, she was explicitly told the vote would not take place on Tuesday. What did you know going into last night, right? Did you know that there were going to be motions taken up to replace Mr. Shea? Did you know there were going to be motions taken up to replace legal counsel, etc.?
Absolutely not.
District 7 Commissioner Rebecca Curran said she was blindsided by Tuesday's decision to fire the county's administrator, John Shea, in favor of congressional candidate John Gibbs. But 6 of her fellow Ottawa Impact Republicans knew, and she's wondering how.
It was very well thought out, very well planned, and it was not taken to the community.
Was there some sort of meeting beforehand to discuss this?
I was not privy to any of that. So I would assume that there was, but again, that would be an assumption. I mean, you can tell by the way things unfolded that it was coordinated and decisions were made ahead of time.
Mrs. Miedema?
Yes.
6-3, motion passes.
The vote, along with several others, was added to the agenda late, and the 6-member bloc even voted to change rules to make way for a simple majority, not 2/3, to get the job done. Those 6 and 2 others were sworn in that morning at the meeting. And as for the legality of talking business outside of the public eye,
I did consult with an attorney on that, and from what I understand, until you're sworn in, you're not subject to the Open Meetings Act. Now, is it the most ethical thing to do? Probably not. But technically, it doesn't apply to them.
Curran did vote yes on a few other late added agenda items to replace the county's legal counsel and to dismantle the county's diversity office. But she said she promised to do those things in a pledge that she signed with Ottawa Impact, but she never agreed to do it outside of the public eye.
I made that commitment. I don't agree with how we did it, but I kept my commitment. And that's why I voted yes on those other votes. Now, with the John Shea vote, that was something that I was specifically lied to about. That was different. I felt very comfortable voting no on that.
Curran hopes in the future commissioners will make decisions as a group, not in factions.
I am all about making change. I am conservative through and through. There is no doubt in my mind. But how we do things is important as what we do.
And Chairman Joe Moss did not return our calls for a second day in a row today, but we did get to speak to Doug Zielstra. He is the only Democratic member of this board. He also, of course, voted no last night. He called the move shameful and irresponsible and urged people and businesses not to leave Ottawa County because of this.
All right, Doug, thank you for your coverage again today. Continuing our team coverage now with our Lauren Edwards, who took the big question here. Was this board action legal to an expert? Lauren, what did you find out?
Janice, you know, as it was reported off at the top of the show, Attorney General Dana Nessel is looking into all of what happened, because that was top of mind for many people. Was this all legal? I spoke with some legal experts who says it depends on how everything went down. In fact, that they say that there are two main questions that need to be answered. Two questions too that I looked into earlier. Now, first, did the commission violate the Open Meetings Act when bringing forward all the changes? And a law professor says that it depends on when conversations were had. Was it before the meeting or was there a quorum? But he says it's important to note that commissioners-elect are not subject to the Open Meetings Act, so they were allowed to meet freely at any time before the meeting. Then the other question, was the county administrator's contract breached? Yesterday, after the 8 new commissioners were sworn in, John Shea was fired, John Gibbs took the position. An employment attorney says it all depends on what's stated in Shea's contract.
I've looked at other contracts between counties and county administrators, and typically there is a written contract. It's typically for a set period of time, for instance, 3 years, but it allows the county to terminate the county administrator, that is the county board, to terminate the county administrator. And if that termination is without cause, some contracts would provide for a period of severance.
So you'll hear more from him and a law professor in the 6 o'clock show. And as you know, I'm saying throughout the day, we're going to continue to stay on this story and give you guys updates as we get them. Reporting live here in Ottawa County, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.
All right, Lauren, thank you. Not everyone is happy with the changes the board has made so far.
Yeah, one group making their voices heard, Ottawa Dems, they shared a statement with us today saying the action by this newly elected commissioner group showed that not all are welcome in Ottawa County. And that statement reads in part, yesterday, the Ottawa County newly elected county commissioners moved quickly to show that the county and county government will no longer be a place for a growing community to feel welcome. Instead, it will be one based on lies and one that is not living within reality. Adding, having so many drastic changes early on, and it's terribly disappointing and yes, unfortunately, expected. Now, the roles and responsibilities of county governments, they can be hard to grasp.
Yeah, so we'll break it down for you. We'll try to at least. Here's what you need to know. This is how Ottawa County is organized at the operational level. From protecting public health to maintaining infrastructure and finances, there is a lot to do to keep a county running. As you can see, the treasurer, sheriff's office, clerk, judges, and prosecutors all operate independently. We wanted to focus specifically, though, on the county commission. In Ottawa, there are 11 members who are elected every 2 years. They have 4 main responsibilities that are to set policy, provide leadership and oversight, and to serve constituents. Members can choose to appoint their own county administrator, whose job is to supervise all functions that directly report to the board. For example, parks and recreation, human resources, public health, and more. There are also 4 5-member standing committees that include finance, health and human services, talent and recruitment, and planning and policy. The commission meets on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month at 1:30 in the afternoon at the boardroom of the County Administration Building. Those meetings are open to the public and comments are also accepted online.